Hi everyone, this is Kathy from the Daily Marker, and I am here doing an Inspire Me Monday for Power Poppy. I'm going to show you how I created this card. This is the bottle brush stamp set that I'm using, and what I've done here is I've die cut used two circles to die cut um, like a donut shape. This is about 4 inches is the outer ring, and I want to show you how I'm going to stamp this. Now while you're this was a bigger one that I did to test it out, and then I wanted to see how the images fit inside the ring, and that's what helped me determine the size. But this was really fun and it was super easy, and I'm excited to show you. Now I'm using the grid to line up the first 4 stampings. I'm using this bottle brush tree here, and I'm stamping like if it was a clock at 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. These 4 places, and then it'll be easy to fill in where need be. Now the cool thing about this tree is when I'm filling it in, I don't need to worry about, I can use the thin part of the tree or the thick part of the tree to control how I want to fill in that space. Now I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. And you can see how I'm doing that. You don't have to think too much about this. And I chose a green ink from Memento that's Copic friendly. And then I'll be coloring this in like some vintage colors. So this was super fun. You can do this with other stamps. I hope you'll look at your stamps another way. And today I also want to show you how I like to use Dimension. Now while the spaces between the tree, the grassy wreath, looks like ribbon. So I'm coloring it like it's ribbon and pretending it's ribbon. So I'm taking a light color and then I'll bring in a medium and a dark. So it's pretty basic coloring here. I just wanted to show you the process and how I was doing it. And let me just explain, I don't know if the sound is funny on this, but I just downloaded the new version to iMovie and it keeps shutting off on me. It's been so aggravating. So we're visiting family in Arizona. I'm in the car outside so I can get this done. So I hope you like it, and if you do, please give me a thumbs up. And if you don't, just turn it off. But anyways, I just want to explain that. If you're new to what I do, I'm hosting a 30-day coloring challenge, and I love Power Poppy stamps, and they fit perfect. It's just a perfect thing to color during the challenge, and I was so elated that they wanted me to do the Inspire Me Mondays. Now what I'm doing here is, I don't know if you've heard of tip to tip, or I put some Copic marker onto the palette, the darker color, and now I'm picking up that color with the lighter color, and it's kind of like a paintbrush. You're picking it up and then you got to reload your brush. So I'm going to go ahead and speed that up. I like to try and condense my film so that you don't have to sit here all day and watch me color. So give this technique a try. It's really a great way to extend your colors, and it's a great way to blend a really dark color with a light color. And just, you have to remember to load up that brush, the tip of the marker. We're calling it a brush. It is a brush tip. Anyway, but when you're done, you want to clean off that little bit. You don't want to surprise if you go back and use that color and have that bright red on there. Of course, it's not the end of the world, but now here I'm just filling in, and I'm doing a very quick basic color right now with, I think it's E50. The colors are down on the right here. And then I'll be bringing in some brown. But I don't know if you've seen antique trees, the antique bottle brush trees. Can you hear the cars driving by? But the antique bottle brush trees, there's a lot of they're like beige and they've worn over the years, so there's like brown ends, and the landscaping people are driving by. Again, I'm sorry for that. I just wanted to get this video done and up. Since we're on vacation, it's the only quiet spot I could get is to sit in the car. So I'm just adding my medium color to the edges of the ribbon, and then I will go back and blend that with a light color at E50 or 00. I'm just doing a basic color in the tree here. I want it to match the wreath. So I'm bringing in some brown. I did do this same stamp that we're looking at right now on my Instagram, and I colored it with green, and I just like flecked in, dotted all different colors of greens and brown, and it looks very textural. So you can really do a lot with this stamp set. As you can see, you can make a wreath, and there's 4 bottle brushes that are together. They would be really cool in the wreath also, and then you could just throw in the balls. So it's a fun, versatile stamp set. So now I'm just using a light color to color the balls, and I'm going to be picking up some of the brown on my palette. It's actually a acrylic block. I'm using it as a palette, and I can use some alcohol to get that color off. So I just want to finish these decorative glass vintage balls on the tree, and then when I'm done, I'll be adding 1 stroke of gel pen and a huge blob of glassy accents on each one. And when I'm finished, it looks really cool when you give it time to dry, and it looks very bubbulous. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. That's what I'm doing right here. I'm adding the glossy accents. You know, take your time, give it time to really come out and fill those ornaments. So I'm kind of doing the same thing. You know, most of you that are watching this, you know, love to color and have done this. So I always start with a light color, and then I bring in a medium and then a dark. And I'll blend it out with a light color like I'm doing right now. And I like to pick up that darker color with the light color to blend it out, and you spend less time blending. So I wanted to make these colors, a lot of vintage ornaments are kind of green and red and blue and more of your traditional colors. So I'm doing the same thing here. I'm not doing a lot of feathering, just kind of basic coloring, and then I'll be doing this small little bauble in blue. And then I'm going to show you some tips on cutting this out, because I love to add dimension to my projects. I feel like I don't know, I enjoy doing it, and I feel like it makes a big difference. It does to me, and I like to do that. But there's tips and tricks to cutting out, fussy cutting, where you can achieve that look much easier. And a lot of times it's by cutting into and cutting certain things off. And before we do that, I'm using my MISTI here to stamp the sentiment on the inside of that banner. And I'm going to ink that up, and I'm actually going to do this 3 times, and it really looks nice and rich. Sometimes it's good to, if I colored that banner a few minutes ago, it had some time to dry, otherwise I might heat set it. Now here I'm cutting out the tree, and I'm kind of rocking and rolling, and I'm letting you, well, you can see what I'm doing, but I want to give the tree some texture with my cut, so I'm just kind of moving the scissors in and out, and it gives it a little bit more texture. And then I'm going to be bringing the scissors and cut off the bottom of the tree, you know, like the trunk with the stand. And then my stamped, wait, that's usually what I would do, but in this case I'm cutting around it. I'm sorry, I made this card a few days ago, and it's just been a whirlwind. So I'm cutting into it. Now, why did I do that? I'm like crazy. Okay, it's all coming back now. I stamped this tree an extra time so that I could cut it out and pop it on the other stamped image. Now I'm taking a green marker. I'd like to cover that white line. Normally when I stamp it in black ink, I would use black. And here's the final card. And you can see all the dimension and the glossy accents and how it's popped up. So thank you for watching, and thank you, Power Poppy, for letting me join you for an Inspire Me Monday.